Hi guys, in this video I am going to discuss functions of basal ganglia and its dysfunction which results in Parkinson's disease. In the previous video I have discussed the anatomical organization, input, output, interconnection within the basal ganglia and the neural pathways that are involved. Okay, now functions. What is the first function? There are totally 8 points in this first point. Basal ganglia is responsible for the planning and programming of motor activities. Scientists have found that before the initiation of the motor activity, there is neural discharge in the basal ganglia. So what it conveys? It means it involved in the planning and programming of motor activities. Before the initiation of motor activities itself, basal ganglia is activated. That is planning and programming. Of motor activities. Okay, second point. Basal ganglia is responsible for the maintenance of posture, body posture maintenance, controls posture. Third point. Usually, basal ganglia inhibits the stretch reflex. Stretch reflex means if there is stretch to the muscle, then muscle will contract with the help of muscle spindle present inside the muscle itself. Okay, I have discussed stretch reflex. It is simple. Stretch reflex means if a stretch is given to a muscle, the muscle contracts. That's it. But basal ganglia will inhibit the stretch reflex. Okay, inhibition. Stretch reflex. Now, fourth point. See, the striatum, that means putamen plus caudate nucleus, regulates the subconscious motor functions. Regulates the subconscious gross movements or motor functions. Striatum or putamen plus caudate nucleus. Putamen plus caudate nucleus regulates subconscious gross movements. Subconscious gross movements. Okay, fifth point. See, caudate nucleus plays a role in cognitive functions. Cognitive functions means what? They are learning, thinking, and reacting to something else like that. They are collectively called as cognitive functions. Caudate nucleus. Caudate nucleus plays a role in cognitive function. Plays a role in cognitive functions. Cognitive functions. Sweet. Next, sixth point. There are total 8 points. You should know. Sixth point. See, if there is any lesion in the caudate nucleus, what happens? It causes dysarthritic aphasia. Dysarthritic aphasia means difficulty in articulating words. Okay, speaking. Lesion, particularly head of caudate nucleus. Lesion of, I have told, caudate nucleus consists of head, body, and a thin tail. Head. Caudate nucleus causes dysarthritic aphasia. Aphasia means difficulty in speaking or articulating words. Aphasia. Difficulty in articulating. For your reference, I will write as speaking. Now, seventh point. What is the seventh function? See, globus pallidus and substantia nigra plays a role in skilled movements. Okay, basal ganglia is also involved in the maintenance of skilled movements. Skilled movements means writing like that. Okay, see, what are those? Globus pallidus and substantia nigra plays a role in skilled movements like writing or operating something special. Okay, now the 8th point is important one. What is the 8th point? See, when you are speaking with someone, you show facial expression. Facial expression is automatic and it's normal. Okay, while walking, you will swing your hands to and forth. The swinging is normal and it is automatic to the body movements like walking. So, basal ganglia is responsible for those automatically and normally occurring associated movements. Okay, basal ganglia. If basal ganglia is damaged, then associated movements are affected. Simple. Ganglia controls associated movements, means associated with other body movements. Like when we are walking, we swing our hands. Swinging is associated movement and walking is main movement. Movements that occur automatically and normally. It is seen in normal individuals. Normally. Okay. Along with various body movements. Okay, I said a facial expression is an associated movement while speaking. So if there is, in Parkinson's disease, there is a damage to the basal ganglia, dopamine level decreases. So the person with Parkinson's disease is expressionless. Okay, his face is expressionless. So if there is any dysfunction of the basal ganglia, it results in various diseased conditions. One of the diseases is Parkinson's disease. I have told previously, if there is any degeneration of nigrostriatal projections, that it is an connection between substantia nigra and stratum. Stratum are the combination of putamen and caudate nucleus. Okay, if this neural pathway is damaged or degenerated, then Parkinson's disease will occur. Okay, now with age, as age advances, the dopamine and dopamine receptors in the basal ganglia will gradually degenerate in the old age. But if this process of degeneration of dopamine and dopamine receptors in the basal ganglia is accelerated, it occurs in middle age itself and results in Parkinson's disease. Okay, what are the causes? Introduction. It occurs due to degeneration of nigrostriatal projection. Okay. And Parkinson's disease is also called as paralysis agitans. Okay, remember paralysis agitans. Now, what is the main cause? Accelerated or accentuated loss of dopamine and dopamine receptors. Dopamine neurotransmitter and dopamine receptors. Dopamine receptors in basal ganglia. This is the introduction. It is also called as paralysis agitans. Okay. The scientist describes as shaky palsy. Okay, because the person with Parkinson's disease usually have resting tremors. Okay, and his gait is festinant gaits. I will discuss later. Now, I will divide this Parkinson's disease part into what are the causes of Parkinson's disease and features of Parkinson's disease. Next, treatment of Parkinson's disease. In these three parts I will discuss. Okay, first point, causes of Parkinson's disease. Causes may be idiopathic. Idiopathic means particular cause is not known. It occurs with the age. Okay, particular cause is not known. First one, idiopathic. Exact cause of degeneration of dopaminergic neurons in the basal ganglia. Degeneration dopaminergic neurons in basal ganglia is not known. Okay, it is called idiopathic cause. Now, second point in this cause, some drugs, okay, are also responsible for this Parkinson's disease. In some person take chronic drug use, means continuously he will take the drugs. So Parkinson's disease occur secondary to this drug intake. Okay, drugs. It occurs secondary. To some chronic drug intake. To some chronic means continuously drug intake. What are those drugs? Example, phenothiazine. Okay, like phenothiazine and D2 receptor blockers. Phenothiazine and D2 receptor blockers. Okay, now third cause. Third cause is MPP, means methyl phenyl pyridinium. Okay, it's a chemical. Now, scientists have found that in Parkinson's disease brain, means the person with Parkinson's disease, when his brain is examined, scientists have found that there is high concentration of MPP, means methyl phenyl pyridinium, in the basal ganglia. Okay, MPP. Now, how this MPP is actually produced? There is one substrate and one enzyme responsible for the production of MPP. The substrate is MPTP, means methyl phenyl tetrahydropyridinium. Okay, and the enzyme is monoamino oxidase B. We call it as MAOB. Okay, now MPTP, methyl phenyl tetrahydro pyridinium. Okay, full form. It is converted into MPP, methyl phenyl pyridinium. Phenyl pyridinium, and the enzyme is MAO, monoamino oxidase B. In short form, they call it as MAOB. Now, what this MPP will do? It will cause degeneration of dopaminergic neurons. Cause degeneration of dopaminergic neurons. Okay. Now, these are the three important causes. Now, I will discuss the features of Parkinson's disease. What are the features? Okay. Now, the person with Parkinson's disease show both hypokinetic movements and hyperkinetic movements. Okay. I will discuss separately the hyperkinetic and hypokinetic movements. Both hypokinetic and hyperkinetic movements. Okay. Number 1. What are those hypokinetic? Means hypokinetic movements. Now, hypokinetic means less. Hypo means less. Kinetic means movement. Okay. Akinesia. First point in this hypokinetic movement. See, akinesia. Akinesia means difficulty in initiating movements or decreased spontaneous movements. Okay. Akinesia. Difficulty in initiating movements. As I told, basal ganglia is responsible for the planning and programming. That is initiation of movements or decreased spontaneous movements. Okay. In normal people, the normal people can immediately plan and program the movements and immediately make them in action. Okay, but the person with Parkinson's disease, there is difficulty in planning and programming and initiation. Okay, there is decreased spontaneous movements. Second point, bradykinesia. Brady means what? Slow. Kinesia means movement. Bradykinesia. Slowness of movement, sir. Simple. Third point. Okay. I told previously there is expressionless phase in the Parkinson's disease. So I have discussed one of the function of basal ganglia is control of associated movements that occur automatically and normally with various other movements. While you are walking, you swing your hands, and while you are speaking, you show some facial expression. But because of the damage and decreased level of dopamine in the basal ganglia, in the person with Parkinson's disease, there is expressionless face or mask face, we call it as mask face. Expressionless face or mask face. That means decreased associated movements. Expression is an associated movement along with speaking. Decreased associated movements. Now, features, first point is completed, that is hypokinetic movements. These three you should write: akinesia, bradykinesia, and expressionless face. Now, hyperkinetic movements. What are those hyperkinetic movements? The features: hyperkinetic. In this also there are 3 points. First point is rigidity. The rigidity in Parkinson's disease is different from other spastic rigidity. Spastic means what? Hyperly contracted. So, if basal ganglia is affected, then there are no neurons to inhibit the both agonistic and antagonistic muscles. Okay, the motor nerves which supply the agonistic and antagonistic muscle will not be inhibited by the upper motor neurons, okay, that arise from the basal ganglia. But in spastic rigidity, only antagonistic muscles are activated because there is no inhibition of neurons that supply antagonistic muscle. So muscles will over contract and causes spastic rigidity. But rigidity in Parkinson's disease is different from that spastic rigidity. Okay, what are those types of rigidity? There are two. One, lead pipe rigidity and cogwell rigidity. I will say what are those. Due to, what is the cause for this rigidity? Common cause is due to increased motor neuron discharge, because there are no upper motor neurons that inhibit the motor neurons as basal ganglia is affected. Increased motor neuron discharge that supply both antagonistic and agonistic muscles. You can call flexors and extensors also. Agonistic and antagonistic. Sorry, agonistic. Muscles. Okay. First point in this rigidity is type lead pipe rigidity. What is meant by lead pipe rigidity? Limbs often provide resistance to the passive movements. Okay, if the Parkinson's disease person is moving his limbs, there is small resistance in the limbs. Okay, not spastic. In spastic, what happens? Over contraction results in still limbs. Okay, but in lead pipe rigidity means limbs offer resistance during movements. Okay. Now, second type of rigidity, that is cogwheel rigidity. What is meant by cogwheel rigidity? See, there is series of catches during the passive movements. Means if the person is moving, for example, moving his hands, there is catches. Movement, stop, like that. There are catches that occur frequently. Okay, catches during this occurs series of catches. Okay, series of catches during passive movements. Now, rigidity is completed. This is hyperkinetic movement. Now, second point. Tremors, particularly resting tremors. Tremors occurs only at rest in the Parkinson's disease. Okay. Tremors, particularly resting tremors. What is meant by resting tremor? Regular alternative contractions of antagonistic muscle at a frequency of 8 per second. Contraction frequency is 8 times per second. Okay, it's regular. Now, tremors observed only in the rest. That's why this is called resting tremor. That means regular and alternating contractions. Okay. Contractions of antagonistic muscles. What is the frequency? At a frequency of 8 per second. Frequency of 8 per second occurs in rest. That's why it is called as resting tremor. Okay. Now, third point. Festinant gait. What is the gait of a person with Parkinson's disease? It is festinant gait. Festinant gait features are: the person walks with shuffling steps, short and shuffling steps, and the person try to bend forward so that he can, how it looks like? It looks like he is trying to catch the center of gravity present in front of him. Okay. What is the festinant gait? Festinant gait. Now, features are short and shuffling steps. Second one is bends forwards. The patient will bends forward, trying to catch center of gravity in front of him. Center of gravity in front of him. Okay. Now, features are completed. Now, I will discuss what is the treatment for Parkinson's disease. Okay. Now, third point is treatment. It's simple. Okay. What happens in Parkinson's disease? There is decreased level of dopamine and degeneration of dopamine receptors, dopaminergic neurons, everything happens. Okay. So, any process which increases the dopamine level in the basal ganglia is a treatment. Simple. Okay. What are those methods? I will say. First method, replacement of dopamine. What is meant by replacement? There is decreased level of dopamine, right? You cannot directly provide the dopamine to the patient because dopamine will not cross the blood-brain barrier. So, in order to increase the dopamine concentration in the basal ganglia, usually they give L-DOPA. L-DOPA can cause the blood-brain barrier, and also dopamine agonists like bromocriptine. Okay, bromocriptine and L-DOPA are provided. L-DOPA and dopamine agonist like bromocriptine are provided. Why L-DOPA? L-DOPA can cross the blood-brain barrier, as direct injection of dopamine will not work because dopamine will not cross blood-brain barrier. Now, second method which increases the dopamine concentration in basal ganglia is second one, anticholinergics. See, there is a ratio of dopamine is to what is the another neurotransmitter? Dopamine and acetylcholine. And this ratio between dopamine and acetylcholine in the basal ganglia plays an important role. Okay, if there is an alteration in this acetylcholine is to dopamine level ratio, will also result in Parkinson's disease. As in Parkinson's disease, there is decreased level of dopamine. There is alteration of dopamine to acetylcholine ratio. Okay, anticholinergics. So, if we decrease the concentration of acetylcholine, then what happens? The ratio will come to the normal level. Okay, cholinergics. To maintain dopamine and acetylcholine ratio in basal ganglia, sweet. Third point, there is a drug called Diprinyl. Giving this Diprinyl, what happens is the enzyme monoamino oxidase B enzyme is inhibited. If monoamino oxidase B is inhibited, what happens? I have discussed previously. The monoamino oxidase B is responsible for the conversion of MPTP to MPP. MPP means methylphenyl pyridinium. It is responsible for the degeneration of dopaminergic neurons. So there is prevention of degeneration of dopaminergic neurons by injecting Diprinyl drug. Inhibit what? MAOB, monoamino oxidase B, conversion of MPTP, methylphenyl tetrahydropyridinium to methylphenyl pyridinium, MAOB. This process is inhibited. Okay. Fourth method of treatment is transplantation of adrenal medulla. Transplantation of adrenal medulla into what? Patient's basal ganglia. Helps in regeneration of dopaminergic neurons. This transplantation of adrenal medulla is responsible for the regeneration of dopaminergic neurons that are degenerated in the basal ganglia in the patients with Parkinson's disease. Into patient basal ganglia. Causes regeneration of dopaminergic neurons. Okay. Next, fifth point in this treatment, implantation of fetal basal ganglia. It is one of the possible ways as patient's basal ganglia is damaged. Implantation of fetal basal ganglia. Now, last point in this treatment. See, there is, if glomus cells are from the carotid body, okay, carotid body has glomus cells. If glomus cells are transplanted to the basal ganglia, it also releases dopamine locally. Okay, what is the main cause? There is decreased concentration of dopamine in the basal ganglia. So, glomus cells can produce dopamine locally. If glomus cells is transported to the is placed in the basal ganglia. Then there is local production of dopamine. Then there is normal activity of the patient. Okay. Transplantation. Of glomus cells. Glomus cells from carotid body. Why we should transplant this glomus cell? Because these produce dopamine locally. Local. Okay. Sweet. This completes the Parkinson's disease and functions of basal ganglia. Okay. Thank you. If you like my work, please share, like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.